My turn, yes! Change everything! Let's do this thing! This is stop you! I will defeat you! Don't think you can win! There's no way you can win this!
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for! That's what it's all about! Woo!
Finally, Sparking Zero actually has a release date now. It's not too far away either. Only 4 months away, or maybe 3 months by the time I upload this video. I know almost every Dragon Ball fan is doing everything in their power to not bankrupt their wallets trying to pre-order this game, because I'm not gonna lie, $100 just to play this game or 3 days early is kinda tempting. I also can't help but think that I called the fact that this game was gonna come out either this year, but realistically, it was either gonna come out late 2024 or early 2025. Poor GTA fans. The trailer showed off all the characters like Ultra Instinct Goku, Vegito, and Gogeta Blue, the guy Vegeta doing the Millie Rock. Goku Black and graded characters are back too. Not only that, but wooden scenarios are back, and you can experience the story mode through different characters, and it goes up to the super storyline. Just take my money already. You're expecting a breakdown of like every little detail from the trailer, so I don't really know what to tell you or why you're hearing it first, because that's not really what we do here. Like, go fucking watch game explains, that's what you want. My only question here is, where's the love for GTA characters? And where are the Dragon Ball characters for that matter too? I mean, this game is called Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and not Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. I know it's only a matter of time before they show up, but like, what's the damn hold up? I know the competitive scene in this game is gonna be popping off too. They might have got rid of Roseanne and the analog stick for beam struggles, but Tommy Bud presses will never be this frantic. The moment this game drops, I'm immediately maining Gogeta Blue. I don't care if you was one of the most broken characters and fighters, I'm giving people L's like their Halloween candy. As much as I would love to express my excitement about this game, that's not really what we're here to do. But yeah, at least I can be happy knowing this is the last good Dragon Ball Z game before Xenoverse 2. You know, before we got all this shit. So Raging Blast 2, this is the second and last game in the Raging Blast series, but I guess you can call this the 5th Tenkaichi game since the Raging Blast games were kind of spiritual successors to the Tenkaichi trilogy. But now that we got Sparking Zero, it's not really like that anymore. But these games still have their fans, as there's mods that have GT and Super characters like Omega Shenron and Zamasu, and transformation mods like UI Goku, Beast Gohan, and even Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Even some more moves are added into the game too. So I'm sure some of you are wondering why I'm looking at Raging Blast 2 and not 1. Well, mainly because I already made a video on Raging Blast 1 twice. So if you want to know about my thoughts on RBE1, then go watch that video, the new one, not the old one. And I'm also sure that some of you remember that I actually did a review of this game back in 2020, but that was back when I was 13 and I didn't really have the experience I had to make reviews like I do now. That, and I didn't really go into depth about some things and missed a lot of important details. Yeah, there's going to be another review that I'm remaking. I didn't think I'd be remaking that review for some of my other reviews, but, you know, I think I ran on long enough. Let's talk about Raging Blast 2. So I've mentioned a couple of times that I think that Raging Blast 1 is better than 2, and I still think that there's something that Raging Blast 1 does better than 2. But I don't think that's entirely because of nostalgia, since I was still pretty young when I first played Raging Blast 2, since I was only 3 years old when the game first came out. I still remember putting just as many hours in this game as I did with Raging Blast 1, since it was another Dragon Ball game that I can play. And my brother was so happy that I can enjoy this game that he snapped the disc in half so I would stop going to his room to play it. Okay, so I know maybe my brother sounds like he's a dickhead in these videos, but I promise he's actually really chill in real life. I mean, at least now he is. Plus, that was like over 10 years ago, so it's not like I really care about it now. So this was actually the last Dragon Ball game that I would ever play until I played Xenoverse 1 in 2016 or 2015. But honestly, if this was the last Dragon Ball game that I ever played, then I think that this would have been a good rate note to end on, but I haven't really played this game since I did the review back in 2020, so before we see if it holds up, let's look at the intro first.
Take your chance, beat it now.
If there's one thing that you can guarantee about Dragon Ball games, even if the game's terrible, the intro will always get you hyped up to play the game, and this opening still holds up as one of my favorite Dragon Ball intros ever. The animation still looks good almost 14 years after this game came out, and has some of the best non-canon fight lineups. Gohan vs. Cooler, Trunks vs. Bojack, Vegeta vs. Android 13, and Goku vs. Super Janemba. Actually, now that I think about it, only one of those 4 fights never happened. There's actually a pretty funny story about this intro. Remember in my Budokai video when I said this? But the man who composed the original Budokai trilogy soundtrack, Kenji Yamamoto, got into trouble for plagiarism, and this won't be the last time something like this happens. But I'll go into that in the Raging Blast 2 video. Well, we're here now. So around the time the composer of the music for the Budokai trilogy, this game, and Dragon Ball Z Kai was exposed for plagiarism, the Dragon Ball Z soundtrack was replaced with different songs. When the Budokai HD collection was released, the soundtrack was replaced with some songs from Raging Blast 1. And about 2 years after Raging Blast 2 was released, the soundtrack was replaced with Tenkaichi 2 soundtrack. So all the intro for Raging Blast 2 originally sounded like this. Later copies sound like this. This time my brother snapped in half of the Tenkaichi 2 soundtrack on it, and I remember being like really confused at first because like this is one that was really on the internet around this time, so I remember seeing a lot of videos having like a different intro song on it, and I was wondering why does my copy have that? But surprisingly, the copy that I have right now that I bought off eBay has the original soundtrack, which was kind of weird to me because I was expecting it to have the Tenkaichi 2 soundtrack on it. And what's even weirder than that is that when you look at the game on eBay, it costs just a little bit under the new game today. I mean, I guess I'm just like at a loss for words, because like you think for like how much Tenkaichi 3 goes for online nowadays, and like seeing that this game has an older copy that has a different soundtrack on it, like you expect it to like cost a lot more, but no. I mean, like, I guess I'm thankful, but like... Okay, so now that I'm done talking about that, let's talk about the actual game now. Since this is a sequel to Rage Blast 1, it has a lot of the same mechanics. Square to do melee combat, triangle to door key blast, X to dash, and circle to do your signature move. But there is one big thing that this game does differently from the first game. Rage Blast 1 mainly focused on cancels, while Rage Blast 2 is more about follow-ups. After doing a smash attack, you can follow up with another attack. There's a lot of crazy combos that you can do, and while I think that is pretty cool that this game is a lot more faster than the first game, I can't help but feel like this can make the combat in this game feel a little bit shallow. I kind of feel like there's a little bit less of a skill gap to get used to. I mean, it's better than having one button do all the combos, or just having the gameplay itself for you. Oh, wow. Oh. But I don't know, I feel like Rage Blast 1 kind of does a little bit better job on the combat, since it feels like it's harder to master there. I mean, the fighting in this game might be a little bit too easy, but at least it's better than... It also doesn't help the fact that the battle mode where you're playing with against the CPU is an absolute joke. Even if you pick the hardest difficulty, this CPU is not that hard to fight against. Equipping the max CPU item might fix the problem, but this game is pretty easy. But I get that the simplified combos and the easy CPU are easy to get people into the game, so for what it's worth, it does that well. But I don't know if it's just me, but does anyone else feel like it's way too easy to spam super and ultimate attacks in this game? Let's compare to Tenkaichi in the first Rage Blast game. People online, especially the CPUs in Galaxy mode, do this a lot, and doesn't help because you charge ki way too fast in this game. But speaking about charging ki, this game introduced the Raging Soul, which is a mechanic that allows you to do more combo chains in exchange for not being able to use super attacks and ultimate attacks. But seeing how the Raging Soul is pretty fun to use, and you can make it do more damage with a special item, I think that's a fine trade. By the way, every time you activate Raging Soul, a specific song plays every time it activates, but you have the option to change it to any song that you want in the options menu so it doesn't get old. You can also use team attacks if you have specific characters on your team, which was already in the first game, but there's more here, so that's good. When you start to match with some characters that have past experience with another character, they were telling how much they changed since then.
Oh, you're the little one I almost killed on Namek.
Don't expect me to be so weak this time!
So, you're the one who was checking out my guy?
What are you talking about?
So you're Kakarot's son too, eh, kid?
What's a Kakarot? Is that something you eat?
It can't be. You're a Super Saiyan?
No! I'm a Super Saiyan 2!
What? Vegeta 2?
This is the power of a true Super Saiyan. Be gone, Frieza!
I have to whip you into shape every now and then, honey.
Try not to kill me, baby. The sins of the father shall be visited upon the son. I will make you pay tenfold.
I guess we'll see about that. It's been a while, Krillin. Let's fight.
What? Super Saiyan 3? That's cheating!
My name is Gohan. Let's have a good fight. Gohan, you may be cute, but I won't pull any punches. You better be ready. Gohan, you're weird.
But there's also some weird jank here, like for some reason Gohan keeps calling everyone Piccolo.
Okay, time for some practice.
Alright, Piccolo!
It's been a while. Wanna spar?
Alright, Piccolo!
And Goku really loves saying his name and that he's from Earth.
You're Kakarot? My name is Goku, and I'm from Earth.
Kakarot, you disgraced all Saiyans.
My name is Goku, and I'm from Earth. How dare you defy your brother? My name is Goku, and I'm from Earth.
So that's really all the fighting. Since it stays the same from the first game, there's really not that much to talk about. It's a solid system, and I might like RB1's fighting better, but I can't let my bias see the improvements here. It also helps because this game is probably the closest that any Dragon Ball game has gotten to beating Tenkaichi 3 for having the biggest character roster for any fighting game before Sparking Zero 14 years later. Characters that should have been in the first game like Ultimate Gohan and Mega Frieza are here, but we also got some movie characters like Cooler, Turles, Android 13, Bojack, and Pikkon. For that one guy who wasn't mad that Pikkon was in the first game. No Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Omega Shenron, and Oob. Sorry GT fans. Now we have the new game modes this game has. Galaxy Mode, Battle Zones, Tournament, Online, Ultimate Customized, and Museum. Let's talk about Galaxy Mode first. Galaxy Mode is this game's replacement for Story Mode. Here you pick a character and fight a bunch of characters with a couple of conditions like defeating the characters before your Raging Soul runs out, or beating them with no health and fight the computer with its health at full, which is already pretty terrible, but there is an item that negates this, but I swear to fucking god it only works when it wants to, because when I equipped it to Nail in Android 16, the game just acted like it was Stevie Wonder that shit because it just didn't work when I start the fight. I even went back to other characters just to make sure I wasn't remembering shit wrong, but nope, when I went to Piccolo, it worked perfectly fine, but when I equipped it to Nail, I got the exact same results, which was jack shit. There's all the team battles here that you can do, but you have to complete specific characters, Galaxy Mode, to unlock it. So this mode does encourage replayability, but it can seem that's just a bit tiring and going back and forth just to get a 100% start on your character's profile. Thankfully, you don't have to 100% every character's Galaxy Mode to unlock every character. Just getting to the boss mission is good enough, and you don't even need to beat all the boss missions to unlock every character either. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can, but what you unlock isn't really worth it. Oh, you want to know what it is? Okay, it's just a video with Battle Omega playing in the background.
That's it? That's the last episode? That was just a bunch of cheap walk cycles!
What a rip.
SpongeBob betrayed us!
I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but it's just not really worth it because of how long, arduous, and honestly kind of infuriating it is to fully complete Galaxy Mode. I don't know, do you at least get a trophy for completing it all? Let me check. Oh, you do. So for all you trophy hunters, look, I guess that's something to look forward to then. I mean, I like Galaxy Mode in concept and execution, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. I remember I used to be really sad about this game not having a story mode because it would look so cool to have a story be told with this game's graphics. But now that I think about it, we don't really need another game to retell the story of Dragon Ball since past games have done that over and over and over and over and over again. Sure, Budokai 2 kind of takes a different approach with the whole War King setup, but it's still the same idea. Later games would expand on this idea of fighters having a completely original story mode, but here it's fun, but I would recommend you fully complete it. Next is the battle zones. Here you pick a character, then you pick a zone to play. You fight 4 to 5 different characters and you get rewarded with new customizable items that you can add to your character. After you beat the first 8 zones, another 8 unlock called the Ultimate Zones. The more fights you go through, the more handicaps are put on you and the more difficulty it goes up, which kind of feels cheap at times because EVU can literally just attack me mid-combo. Overall, Battle Zones is a fun mode, but you might be a little bit patient for some of the later fights. Tournament isn't really that much different from the last game. You just pick a character, pick a tournament, pick how many rounds you want to fight for, and just fight. But now you have the option to enable ring health, or let how much health you have at the end of the last round carry over to the next match. Now you unlock voice sets for specific situations instead of new attacks now. Next up we got online mode, which works exactly like it did before. But weirdly enough, unlike the last game we looked at, there's a lot more people playing this game online than there are in Burst Limit and even Rage Blast 1. Especially on the PS3 version, because as much as I love this console and I will defend it till the day I die, the PS3 just didn't really do as well as the Wii or the 360. Anyway, whenever someone disconnects now, the game takes it as a automatic loss. There's also this new freestyle mode, which I couldn't try out because everyone's either on ranked or player matches, but maybe that's a good thing because goddamn, people on this game spend like hours on it to get good at this game, and I know that's kind of par for the course for most fighting games, but people in this game either spam the same unblockable super attacks over and over again, stun lock you in infinite combos, stun lock you in Raging Soul combos, or a combination of the 3. I've never gotten a single win online. I literally only got one win, and it wasn't because I beat him or anything, it was because his internet was so bad the match disconnected. I don't see myself getting better here. Like, there's only so many times you can get infinitely combo before you just start wondering, is there a point even trying anymore? Like, I see myself wanting to get better at Fighters, Tekken, or in Street Fighter, but here, I mean, I don't know about that, man. I mean, at the very least, people aren't assholes whenever you lose. They have the common decency to say GG. I mean, with some friends here, too. It feels weird talking to people through PS3 messages in 2024. Ultimate Customizer, where you customize your character's stats into something you're able to adapt to. Instead of having a base core where you place these Tetris pieces, now we just went back to the Tenkaichi 3 formula of having just only 10 slots and limit points, but at least in Tenkaichi 3, there isn't cap to your limit points. There's just not a lot of options here to make an overpowered character. Even with a cap of 41 limit points, that's still not enough. At least the customizable super moves stay the same, but I think that the ultimate customizer in this game is a little bit of a downgrade from the last game. Finally, there's a museum where you get to look at character bios, listen to background music, look at concept art, look at fights you save from battle mode, and watch the movie which unlocks the new character Hashiak. Anyway, it's just a remaster of the OVA playing to eradicate the Saiyans. It's animated pretty nicely, but my own complaint is that's only in Japanese and there's not an option to put it in English. I always hear people say this game doesn't look as good as the first game, with people preferring the shell-shaded graphics. I even hear people saying that the characters look like action figures in Raging Blast 2, which is honestly kind of weird to me, since I remember playing this game for the first time back in 2012 and just thinking that this game just looks so cool, and I just couldn't comprehend I went from this to this in a year. And also, even now, I still feel that way. I never really got why people kept on saying that, because it's really not that different from the first game. It's just that the texture is more solid than before. Yeah, the Saiyan's hair can look a little bit weird with this game's lighting, and the boots kind of look like they're made out of Play-Doh, but other than that, this is a pretty good looking game. This game is just bursting with details, like how in the lookout stage, you can see the earth from the bottom to see how high up you are. The glacier stage, you can see a crash ship in the background, and in the space stage, you can see a village in the background. The ores while charging looks so good. Too bad you won't be able to appreciate how good it looks because of how fast it'll charge up to high tension mode. Cooler finally gets a cool looking transformation for the first time.
Gonna smash you!
Whenever Janemba dashes towards his opponent, he turns into particles just like he did in Fusion Reborn. And when Vegeta and Trunks transform into power-up forms, you can see their muscle mass get bigger mid-transformation. Okay, that was in Raging Blast 1, but when you look at it side by side, it's a lot more noticeable in Raging Blast 2. When you miss a beam attack, there's a cloud of smoke where the attack would have been, but sometimes they go a little bit overboard with the smoke effects because it can cover up the entire screen and it's hard to see. This game managed to fix the camera problems from the first game because there's not a lot of time to remember getting the camera stuck behind an object. The Ultimate Attack cutscenes look so much better than it did in the first game. I mean, I liked how they looked in the first game, but it kinda got stale just looking at a split screen over and over again. Here, almost every Ultimate Attack has different type of cutscenes.
I'll give you a fight!
Into the line! Finish Buster!
Bulma, Trunks, Kakarot, goodbye.
How do you like this? Cubby Cubby Ha!
Take this! See here, come! I'll teach you!
Whoa! You getting this, cameraman? This is outstanding!
Die!
Oh, Hercule! What's happened to you?
And the rush attacks are just as good too.
Thought I already told you! No mercy!
Be gone!
You're finished! Time to end this once and for all!
Follow this? You're out of here! Get back here! Be gone! Prepare to die. You're mine!
I'm done with you! Die!
There you are. Farewell. You still want to fight?
You're through!
The soundtrack is good, but I think the first game's soundtrack is better. It's kinda hard to listen to this song with all the key blasts, energy waves, and powering up. But all the songs I heard are pretty good though. And the opening theme battle with Mega, oh my god, I'm gonna tell you something. This is one of the greatest Dragon Ball songs that has ever been composed for a series. I don't care if Kenji Yamamoto plagiarized this shit, this is still one of my favorite Dragon Ball songs ever. Like the vocals, the tempo, the guitar, just everything about it just screams.
This is...
Like from the opening notes to the final chorus, it just gets me hyped up every time I hear it. Whenever it plays in the game, I just like to play it until it finishes. But you know, all the other songs are good though. The voice acting is pretty good here. This is the first Dragon Ball game to have the voice actors from Kai replace the original Funimation voice actors, which means it's the first Dragon Ball game to have the Go Chris Ayres voice Frieza, and Colin and Clickenberry to voice Android 18, Ken and Teen Gohan. Quick side note, but a lot of Dragon Ball voice actors voice a lot of One Piece characters, and I know it's because both series are localized like Funimation, but at the same time, it's not like they try to alter the voices or anything. Like Gohan, Luffy, Chaozu's Chopper, Krillin, Usopp, and Trunks and Vegeta are literally just Zoro and Sanji.
Get ready, father, I won't hold back!
Do what you like.
That little bastard's about to eat us out of house and home! And booze!
Oh, hell no!
Like, it's crazy to me how these two had the same voice actors. Like, could you imagine these two characters actually met?
This has to stop, Dad! You're making a huge mistake! What if Cell's power ends up being too much for us? What happens then? I could do so much good with it. Use it to protect new girls! No, I mean, I could help all mankind and new girls! No, I had this beautiful vision of the future and new girls!
But the overall voice acting is pretty good. And unfortunately, Cell doesn't say his sayonara line after he fires his solar Kamehameha anymore.
The Earth will be destroyed! Sayonara! Then I will send everything to dust.
There are also more audio glitches like when Goku and Vegeta fuse into Gogeta. It plays a sound clip from when you do the Spirit Bomb fusion with Goku, Krillin, and Gohan.
Gohan, don't... I'm the one who will destroy you! Got it! Don't miss! Control, Gohan! Don't let it hit me!
But the weird thing is that when you activate the fusion dance with Vegeta, it plays like it's supposed to.
Jump! Ha! I'm the one who will destroy you!
There's also another error like when Broly uses a Racer Cannon, his mouth moves but he doesn't say anything. But other than that, the sound and soundtrack in this game is pretty good. Some are better than others, but overall, 8 out of 10. Overall, Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2 to me is a game that's only gotten better with age. It's not for everyone. Matter of fact, I can imagine that this game's bigger focus on follow-ups can put off some people from this game. And I might prefer the first game, but I can't really ignore all the improvement that this game brings to the table. Like Tenkaichi 3, I feel like this is something that only Dragon Ball fans can really enjoy, because it makes you feel like you're actually fighting as the characters from the show, and non-Dragon Ball fans probably will miss out on all the references and callbacks. But I think that they can get some fun out of it though if you're playing with friends. The game modes are fun, the new mechanics give the game some of its own identity, and while the customization is pretty limited, the game is still pretty fun to play. Play with friends because you'll get the most out of it, but I think you say that about almost any fighting game. Like I said, this is the last Dragon Ball game that I played for the next 3 to 4 years until I played Xenoverse, but honestly, this would have been a good place to stop if this was the last Dragon Ball game I ever played. I feel comfortable putting this in my personal top 5 favorite Dragon Ball games. Only question now is that, how come we never got Region Blast 3? I know we kinda don't need it because we got Sparking Zero coming out soon, but like, that's kind of my point. If we get another Tenkaichi game, then why not another Region Blast game? And while I'm talking about that, why not a Budokai Tenkaichi HD collection? Like you did for Budokai 1 and 3, and you know when Sparking Zero comes out, it's gonna sell immediately, and with how much Tenkaichi 3 goes for online now, I think it's about time we got that. But that's all I gotta talk about in this video. Next time on the Dragon Ball Z Marathon, it's gonna be a double header because we're gonna be looking at both Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z and Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi. I gotta be honest, this is one I've been like anticipating the most because like I've always heard people like claim this game to be like one of the, if not the worst Dragon Ball games of all time. And we're gonna find out if that's true next time, but you know. But until that video comes out, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.